Yo guys, it's Plumed Archer here, and today we're going to be doing a 1v1 Archer Rush tutorial. So, yeah, get your eyes ready for the ass whooping you're about to witness. Just kidding, guys. But today, I'm going to demonstrate against my friend Martin. And keep in mind that he's playing way more chill than he's used to playing. He's definitely not going to defend a lot of my pushes the way he should on purpose, so that way the recording can be as effective as possible, because there's a lot of ways to counter the archer rush, and he knows that I'm doing it, so he's gonna know not to counter it because I told him to. I'm telling him to play like a normal game like he would, but however way more chill and way less defensive than he normally be. Now, as lame as you guys think that might be, it'll be so annoying trying to get a good recording of me actually doing an archer rush and it being super effective, because I only have like 3 replays of me doing an archer rush in existence right now that I can access at the moment, and 2 of them are bad and the other one just got cut short, and I don't want to have a recording that was cut short. Basically, I'm going to explain to you guys the counters to the archer rush right now, so that way you guys don't have to go throughout the video trying to find out how to effectively counter this thing without losing too much economy in return. Now, first of all, to do this, you need to have scouting information. If you don't know that your opponent's going to do an archer rush, then don't try to waste money trying to counter it. And if you do waste money, then you can use that as a effective counter push, even though you're not actually countering him. I know that skirmishers in the early game wreck archers, so keep that in mind. However, the thing about skirmishers that makes them so much more valuable to lose, they cost food, and in the early game, food is very hard to get your hands on, and it takes a lot of time. So the best way to actually maximize your skirmisher's output is to have your starting scout tank for him. Or tank for them, because if you have like 2 skirms and you're going against like 5 archers, 2 skirms won't do the trick, and you'll need to have at least 1 scout here kind of protecting your archers. However, you can lose that scout in a hurry if you don't micro it properly. You need at least basic micro skills to actually do this. So yeah, by basic micro skills, I mean avoiding arrows, which is pretty simple to do. Just try to go in a zigzag line, or any type of line that avoids the archers, that is linear of course. Or you can use shift pathing, which is alright. I call it shift pathing. I don't know what you guys call it, but I like to call it shift pathing, and I just did that on the recording right now. Shift pathing allows you to avoid arrows as well. However, you need to be quick at this. However, you can only use like 2 skirms or 3 skirms if you want to defend and not lose as many resources, because I think skirmishers 25 food, 35 wood. That's 75 food, and that can greatly affect your time in advancing. However, if you want to use the market and you think you have enough resources, skirmishers shouldn't be that bad. And also, skirmishers make for a nice distraction to attack villas and make the opponent's economy idle for a little bit. I'm sorry about starting there. So now I'm getting my second board. Timed it pretty decently, but I did remember that villager was like idle for like 10-20 seconds. So yeah, here I am trying to make sure my economy is just running. And what you want to do is only have food and wood villagers before advancing. You want to make sure during the advance time that you send some food villagers to gold. The reason you're sending only food villas is because you need wood to build buildings. And to build buildings is a huge thing with rushing. You need to have the resources available to perform the rush at any given time, which is why you need a build order. There are many good build orders online, and if you want to check some out, I will link you to one in the description that I normally use. Go to the subreddit of AoE2. You can find some good ones. In fact, that's where the link will be, to a subreddit where you can kind of find some cool content that will help you get better at archer rushing. Also, I made a forum just in case you guys want to join, post your build orders, your rush timings, and right now I'm getting loom at the moment because I need to make sure I can get to 500 food, and I don't want to have any idle time in doing so. So getting loom here is a good step for me to actually be able to avoid that idle TC time. And right now I'm at 530 something food. I can't read that because I'm not zoomed in. But yeah, this is not live commentary, and I'm watching this about what, 40% zoomed in, so I can't really see the food number, or no, 40% zoomed out. Something like that, guys. Something. But anyways, as you can tell, I am currently receiving a lot of love from my subscribers, and I want to thank you guys for helping me get to this point where I am about almost 20 subs, and I'm going to hit that soon. So thank you so much, and yeah. So now I'm trying to take control of the game and trying to make it slide more towards me, building 2 archery ranges, making 2 villas to 1 archery range at a time. I scouted out his gold. It will be an important place to hit later in the game because when you're archery rushing, you usually want to go for the gold and wood lines. Try to zone them in and make them kind of just like a tower rush. You want to get the gold in wood lines. That way you're kind of making the base go kind of move in a little bit, so they lose more map control and you gain. And usually if that is actually successful in your attack and is executed very well, you usually win the game. Unless this is only one kind of thing that is possible, you actually you mess up and you let them get a vill or 2 out and they start building, and now they have the upper hand on you. They have actually an army. They can start attacking you, and you don't have a good defensive kind of you're not good back at home, and you're trying to just, this push will win you the game. If you can actually get them out of the game, it's over. That kind of thing. That's how you lose games, is by poor decision making. That's literally the only reason you can lose games. Not because the other person's better than you. It's poor decision making. I've been beaten by people who are naturally way worse than I am at this game. Way worse. And I'm talking about, I've been beaten by 1600 LOs who just started to play out the game because of one bad decision I made. It snowballed the lead to them, and I'll tell you, I lost when I was about 17 something, 17xx I was just new to 1700 range. I beat a couple of 1800s before to get to this point, actually. And so I lost this game because of a dude who was so new to the game. Like, he did not know what a blacksmith did or anything like that. Anything of that kind of connotation. He was pretty new to the game. But he was the Franks and I was the Mayans, right? So I decided to go for this crazy good economy. And he's actually decent to the point where he can spam. He knows how to spam. He knows how to get to Imperial. I let him boom to Imperial without rushing him, doing anything at all. And I go Eagles and, power. I don't actually make any halberdiers. That's one of the bad decisions I made leading up to this point. And as you can see, I drove him off his gold before I even realized he didn't want to go for the gold because he knew my archer rush was coming in the replay right now. So what I did was, so I didn't make halberdiers. I just made plumes, and I just made, what you might call it, eagle wars. But I didn't make enough. But lucky me, he actually planted a castle in my base, and I didn't even know. And then I was like, what the hell? And then I scouted a little more. There were like 5 stables behind it. He had no blacksmith upgrades. Keep that in mind. Guess what he did? He spammed paladins. He knows how to upgrade, of course. He just doesn't know what the blacksmith does. That's what he told me after the game. And I was like, holy shit. This dude's actually murdering me right now. He pulls out a treb or 2 and starts bombarding me. I was like, is this dude actually better than he is? I rematched him and I destroyed him next game. But yeah, a few decisions that are poor can lead to a L being taken on your side. And by L, I mean loss. It's a pretty weird verbiage from a person like me. But yeah, as you can see right now, I'm doing some nice damage to his eco, kind of harassing his villagers, trying to get them idle. I kill a vill here on a stone line, but what you really want to do, here's a tip, is to avoid the town centers as archers, because archers are very weak units. If your opponent gets to castle faster than you, don't worry, keep putting on the aggression. Don't let him get to castle and then start making knights and shit. You want to keep putting on the aggression. You want to make sure you can find where his villagers are building stables, barracks, or wherever, unless they already have those structures planted. You want to make sure you harass them, so that way they won't be able to make a knight without it dying to your archers. They won't be able to outproduce you in any category. Their eco is weaker than your eco, but then again, of course, when you're going for rushes, you won't actually have the best eco, of course. I go for a wheelbarrow here just to make it feel a little better. I'm not going to go for a really fast castle. I'm going to go for a somewhat late castle. So here I'm like, okay, well, I have 2 villas up here and next to his gold line. Might as well make a tower there so he can't access it. He can make siege, yes, but he doesn't actually make siege, and of course he normally would in this game just because archers are so vulnerable to mangonels, onager line, even somewhat vulnerable to the scorpion line as well. So right now, I have a good mass of archers, and I'm ready to strike on this dude. I have 66 pop. He probably has like 58, something like that. I can imagine that's all vills and like 1 scout. A little bit of lag here. I talked with him a little bit, conversed with him a little bit, just to make sure that he was just doing all right, you know. Tried to be a good teammate and a good friend, you know, all kinds of stuff, even though I wasn't his teammate this game. Yeah, of course, you know, he's playing less aggressive, less defensive. And here in this replay right now, you can see I have crossbowmen. What you always want to do is transition into crossbowmen because they're way stronger than the regular archer line. That is the #1 moral of the story. Always make sure you keep the aggression going no matter how far you win the game. You can actually win it earlier, but if you don't want to keep the aggression going, kind of want to give them a leg up on you somewhat, you can actually stop the aggression. They won't get a leg up on you, of course, but they'll get some nice way to kind of boom back into it. A little harsh if you keep going for all the aggression. But if you're that type of player and not the SimCity kind of guy who wants to build up and eco and then wait to the end of the game, with like most noobs or just most people who like that kind of style of play, build your own empire kind of line of things, go ahead. But this tutorial was just to help you guys find the counters to archer rushing and what it can really be good against. I hope you guys enjoyed. For more content, leave a like down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.